Welcome to my channel. My name's Lorraine and I help people live with passion, purpose and positivity. And the subject of this video today is self-healing with LoA. I'm going to give you 3 examples of how I've self-healed. If you're interested, please carry on and watch this video. So when I talk about self-healing with law of attraction, the law of attraction is always working whether you realise it or not. But it's so much more effective if you do it, if you are more conscious of it deliberately. You can self-heal yourself, you can overcome any illness or disease. And it's you know, I've proved this myself and I hear stories all the time of this happening. So the first example I've got is, and it's a recent one, and that is, I injured my hand, my left hand, and I was walking down the stairs as I was getting stuff down from upstairs to downstairs because I'm moving house. So I'm halfway down the stairs and I remember something that's upstairs that I want to go and get. So I turn on the stairs and as I'm climbing back up the stairs, I trip and land on this hand. Oh my goodness, it was so painful. I thought I'd broken it. But I soon realised that I hadn't. I'm a nurse, so an orthopaedic nurse at that. I used to be. So I knew I hadn't broken it, but it was very, very painful along the wrist. You know, the pressure when I went down. So I got my stuff from the room and brought it downstairs. So the first thing I did was rest, ice, compress, elevate. So I put some ice on it and elevated it, and I did all the things it's supposed to do. I took paracetamol and ibuprofen. So, you know, the normal things work. I do believe they work. I do believe in tablets. As I say, I'm a nurse, so I do believe in medication. But I think the mind is so much more powerful, and I'll tell you why. So knowing what I know about the law of attraction and knowing how people heal naturally, I decided to put my mind to work to heal this hand. And I stopped, even though it was hurting, I stopped focusing on it so much. I kept taking the tablets every 4 hours within the instructions on the tablets, drank plenty of water, still did the elevation in the initial few days. But what I concentrated on was this hand, my right hand, that's working perfectly. And luckily I'm right-handed, so, you know, so I'm using my right hand. I'd say to myself, oh, my right hand is working so perfectly. I'm so lucky to have my right hand to do things with. And I was still using my left hand, even though it was still hurting a bit. I mean, I do yoga every morning. And it was really difficult to do downward facing dog. I didn't put my hand fully on that hand. But this is what I've done for 10 days now. And I know that after a while, my hand will start getting better normally. And that's what's happened. I mean, last week I looked after my granddaughter, who's a 1-year-old, and she's not quite walking, so I had to lift her out the cot, into the high chair, out of the high chair. But as I say, I took the tablets, did the mind work, and now my hand is completely healed. But by the same token, I could have gone on about it, couldn't I? I mean, I must admit, I'm a little bit like that. I say to people, I've hurt my hand. I'm a little bit like that. But, so I like to be healthy all the time, don't you? Life's so much better when you're healthy. But, yeah, so it's healed perfectly now. And I do believe I've accelerated that healing through my mind. I mean, the people that are ill most of the time, if you've noticed, are the ones that talk about it the most, aren't they? And it's the law of attraction. You know, energy, everything's energy. Your thoughts are energy. Like attracts like. If you think you're going to be ill, if you expect to be ill, if you've already got a diagnosis, if you keep focusing on it, you'll get more of it. What resists persists. You know, what you think about, you bring about. And it applies to everything. And it applies to your healing too. Do you remember in The Secret, there's an Oriental lady who got breast cancer, and you saw her on the movie. She decided that she hadn't got breast cancer. She says, "No, I've not got breast cancer." And you saw her putting flowers on the table. You saw her laughing with her husband in the evening at comedy programs. She chose to think that she didn't have it. 3 months later, she didn't have breast cancer. And I'll give you my second example, and that is, and it was when going back to when I did the Camino de San Diego Compostela. It's a 500-mile pilgrim walk across northern Spain, and I went in 2016, and I got terrible blisters. Even though I'd done loads of hiking before, and I should have known, I got loads of blisters. It was hot, and that resulted in my left knee getting injured because I was walking funny. Anyway, about a week into the hike, I had to stop at this place called Nahara and rest it. Anyway, it wasn't getting any better. I was doing the usual, elevating it, and I had some crutches. I even went to the hospital about 3 times in the end in Nahara. And so I decided I had to come home. I couldn't carry on the walk with this knee. So the day of that I was going to go home, in the morning, it was so painful. Again, I was taking the tablets and everything, but it's so painful. Anyway, I asked the host of the albergue to help me with my rucksack to the bus station, and he did. But I was absolutely in tears, getting to the bus station. I was in absolute agony, and I was sitting on a bench outside the bus station, and this lovely Spanish lady offered to take me in her car to the nearby hospital, which she did. And as soon as I got into the hospital, the pain had gone. Why was that? Because I had an expectation of getting better. You know, it's your belief and it's your mind. And I sat down at the receptionist and I thought, the pain's gone. So another example of that same thing is when I was young and I must have been about 15. I was going on a hike, and we were all in this fish and chip shop, and queuing for fish and chips. All of a sudden, I had terrible, excruciating stomach pain, cramps. I was bent over, and I said to my leader, "I've got terrible stomach ache. I've got terrible stomach ache." She says, "Okay." She says, and they discussed it. They decided to take me to the hospital. I think it was in Wales. And I was bent over, I was in agony. Got to the hospital, they laid me down to examine me, and it went. And I didn't know then what I know now, but everyone thought I was faking it. Oh my God. But it's true, I'm in the hospital, I'm expecting to get treated, I'm relieved, and it's all the mind affecting the body. And I'm going to recommend a book to read, and this is it's been another book that's like a Bible to me, and it's You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And in this book, at the back, she has all the mental patterns that are associated with the condition that you've got. I mean, she's saying probable cause, and then she says the new thought pattern. So abdominal cramps, she's put fear, stopping the process. So that you've got a fear of something. And when I was on that trip, I was sharing with a girl that wasn't very nice, and I didn't like it. I was away from home, I was scared, and I was in fear then. So, it all makes sense now. And then the new thought pattern, it says, I trust the process of life. I'm safe. See, it's got everything you can think of. Look. And then another one, I'll read another one out. Right, so let's have a look. So another one. It says blackheads here. Can you believe that there's a thought pattern for blackheads? Small outbursts of anger. Probable thought. And then new thought. I calm my thoughts and I am serene. So there you go. I do believe that. I do believe there's like a thought pattern behind everything that happens to us. And another good someone who's really good that helps with illnesses and self-healing is Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's done all these studies on the mind and the body, and he comes up with all these like experiments that have worked out. And on YouTube there's like every day virtually is a testimonial from somebody who's done he does a week-long meditation course all over the world, and they say about how they've done the meditations and how they've healed, and he puts EEGs on people's heads to see, you know, that heart and brain coherence. So he's well worth having a look at if you've got some condition that you want to heal. But this is what I believe, and this is what becomes true for me. I like being healthy all the time, and I think most people do, don't they? And if you analyse how you feel when you're not feeling good, I mean, I must say, if I've got any aches and pains or ailments, I do not like it. And I get to work on my mind immediately. And I suggest you do that too, because if you focus on it, it'll get worse and you'll get more of it. And I fully believe in medication as well, so work both of them from the end, and you know, you'll have a happy, healthy life. Anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification, and share with your friends if they've got any illnesses or anything. Blessings to you, my friends, much love, and namaste.